Hi, I'm Al McDonald, Chief Product Officer of winningbidder.com, and I'm excited to give you a deep dive into our free and simple online auction software. Let's start by creating an account from winningbidder.com. The first step to setting up your online auction is to configure a payments account so we know where to send your auction proceeds. We integrate with Stripe for payment processing, and they charge 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction, though you have the option to ask winning bidders to cover processing fees. Even if your organization already has a Stripe account, you still need to configure a new Stripe account via the winningbidder.com dashboard. The first thing you'll be asked is if you're a company, individual, or nonprofit. If you indicate you're a nonprofit, you'll be eligible to include in your auction vacations, golf, and other great experiences from our sister company, Travel Pledge. I'll discuss more about that later in this video. Next, complete the requested information from Stripe so we have the right bank account in which to deposit funds. Now let's move on to your auction settings. The event name and about your auction fields display to bidders and tell them about your event. The auction period specifies when your auction starts and ends. There's nothing you need to do to start or close your auction. The system will do it automatically. You can adjust the auction period anytime before the auction closes, though after it closes, you cannot reopen the auction. Popcorn bidding is a great feature to prevent auction sniping, which is when someone places a bid at the last second, denying other bidders the opportunity to increase their bids. Popcorn bidding, if enabled, keeps an item open until there hasn't been a bid for at least 10 minutes. This feature is recommended whenever there isn't a firm deadline for the auction to close. Use the transition to in-person auction setting if you plan to take online bids and then promote some of the items in a live auction. This feature will pause online bidding at your auction close time, but withhold invoices until you manually backfill any bids taken outside of your winningbidder.com auction site. Note that most events do not enable the transition to in-person auction setting. With the auction visibility and promotion setting enabled, we'll promote any of your exclusive items with broad appeal to our database of bidders. Your bidders will also have the option to join our email list via a pop-up form in your auction site. Next, add a donate button to your auction site so donors can support your cause with a cash donation, even if they don't win an auction item. Opt to require a credit or debit card from bidders upon their first bid. Winning bidders' cards will not be charged automatically at the end of your auction. Winning bidders will still have the opportunity to review their invoice before paying. If, after several attempts of not paying, you want to manually charge a winning bidder's card, you may do so from your dashboard and we'll deduct from your net deposit a 5% fee in addition to any payment processing fees. This covers our risk of a winning bidder filing a dispute with their credit card company if they don't recognize the charge on their statement. You can give your winning bidders the option at checkout to cover your payment processing fees. While there is no setting in winningbidder.com to require bidders to cover the fees, over 90% of bidders will opt to cover them nonetheless. If you have lots of high-value items but low starting bids, display the retail value of each item in your auction site. Otherwise, we recommend leaving this setting disabled as to not create an artificial barrier to bidding. If your locality requires it, collect a sales tax on your items. You'll have the option on each individual item to indicate if the tax applies. It is still your responsibility to remit any taxes you collect to your local government. We provide no tax advice, so please consult your counsel. Indicate the auction contact for bidders. We'll send any messages bidders submit from your auction site to this email address. Modify the terms of sale if you would like any changes to our default terms. And finally, indicate how winning bidders will receive their items. We'll email winning bidders this information at auction close. Once you have the settings as you like them, click Save. A few more settings here. Add categories which you can assign to auction items to make it easier for bidders to find items that interest them. For auctions with fewer than 20 items, categories are generally not necessary. If your event has sponsors, add their logos here to display them at the bottom of your auction site. And finally, add an organizational logo which will display on your auction site. Now it's time to add your auction items. Donated auction items are items that you sourced outside of winningbidder.com and Travel Pledge. Cash appeals and fixed price items are items that your supporters can commit to purchasing at a fixed price without bidding. For donated auction items, cash appeals, and fixed price items, you'll keep the entire purchase amount minus any Stripe fees that the winning bidder doesn't cover. For example, if the winning bid is $1,000 and the winning bidder covers your processing fees, we'll deposit $1,000 into your linked bank account. If you're a nonprofit, consider adding a vacation or other fun experience from winningbidder.com's sister company, Travel Pledge. The fee for each Travel Pledge experience is a percentage of the winning bid amount, which we'll deduct from your net bank deposit if the Travel Pledge experience sells. For example, if the experience says keep 60% of the winning bid and the winning bid is $4,000, you'll see a deposit of $2,400 in your linked bank account, net of any processing fees not covered by the winning bidder. We consider an item sold only after the winning bidder pays for it, so there is no financial risk to your organization to include a Travel Pledge experience. If this isn't your first auction with us, you can easily pull in an item from a previous event so you don't have to re-enter the item information. In total, we recommend you don't have more than one item for every 2 bidders in your auction in order to promote competitive bidding. Most auctions have 15 to 30 items. If you're running an in-person auction with mobile bidding, we provide a table flyer for each of your items. The flyer contains a QR code for bidders to scan and take them directly to the item for bidding. With your items entered, it's time to promote your auction site. We give you several options to share your site via social media and email, as well as a downloadable QR code to place on printed materials. And of course, you can copy the auction site link to place on your website or other promotional items. We recommend you share your auction site before your event so bidders can register and preview items. Now let's look at the bidding experience. Bidders can access your auction site on their desktop computers or mobile devices. There's no app for them to download. New bidders need to create a winningbidder.com account, which will automatically register them for your auction. Creating an account requires an email address and optionally a phone number. We'll notify bidders when the auction starts, when they are outbid, when your auction is about to close, and when they've won an item. From the main auction page, bidders can donate via the donate button and contact you with questions. Additionally, they can filter items based on categories, sort the items, or add items to their watch list. Items they bid on will automatically be added to their watch list. Any sponsors you added will display at the bottom of your auction site. Clicking into an item, bidders can view the item photos and details as well as bid. winningbidder.com supports exact bids and max bids. When a bidder places a max bid, the system will bid on their behalf up until the max bid amount. Upon placing their first bid, bidders may be required to enter a credit or debit card based on your auction settings. Bidders can also commit to purchase fixed price items and cash appeals if you have inventory available. We'll include these items on their invoice along with any auction items they won. If you enabled popcorn bidding, extended items will display the updated close time as late bids come in. Once bidding closes, winning bidders receive their invoice links via email and text. Again, all winning bidders have the opportunity to review their invoices even if you require them to enter a credit or debit card to bid. During payment, winning bidders may cover your payment processing fees. Additionally, they may leave an optional tip to winningbidder.com for providing great auction software at no cost to your organization. When a winning bidder pays, they receive their receipt as well as an email with the item delivery information. If they won a Travel Pledge experience, they will also automatically receive their certificate and redemption instructions. Back in your winningbidder.com dashboard, access the bid report to view registrants, bids, and donations. From the Bids tab, click Manage to view all bids on an item. From there, you can manually add a bid for the item as well as take actions on individual bids. For example, you can resend an unpaid invoice, mark an invoice as paid if, say, someone paid you by check, or manually charge a winning bidder's card. Again, 5% of the transaction amount will be deducted from your net deposit if you manually charge a winning bidder's card. You can also void any unpaid bid. Additionally, you can mark another bidder as a winner if you have multiples of the item or the original winning bidder doesn't pay. View a summary of winning bidders and payment statuses from the Winning Bidders tab. You may find this report helpful as you deliver your items. Export all of your winning bids and donations to see an itemized breakdown of revenue and fees. On the Bank Deposits tab, track payouts to your bank account. Payouts are initiated every 2 days and cover payments from winning bidders who have paid since the last payout. Please allow at least 5 business days for payments to settle in your bank account. And finally, visit the Auction Stats tab for a high-level summary of your auction, so you can see at a glance all your revenues, costs, and deposits. If you have any questions, please schedule a call or email support@winningbidder.com.